What's in the box?
All right, here we go. Peter Parker, a.k.a. the Amazing Spider-Man, and Mary Jane Watson Parker, a.k.a. Spinneret, together in marriage and superhero-dom, and coming to you packed in together as part of a two-pack in 2022. Marvel Legends is celebrating the 60th year anniversary of the spectacular Spider-Man with several brand new Spider-Man themed releases through this year, and I'm very happy to bring you a first look at this set. As always, I like to give a little context and some comic book recommendations in my reviews, so just a little backstory here. The Spinneret character, at least the groundwork for her fully suited up look, was laid in 2015 in a 5-part miniseries entitled Renew Your Vows, written by Dan Slott. You can see the Secret Wars imprint on these covers as this dropped during that event. I've recommended Secret Wars, at least reading the 7 main issues of that event countless times on my channel. It's a great read. Read it. During that event, when the multiverse was destroyed by incursions, Dr. Doom finally reigned supreme, taking over as ruler and taking on the moniker God Emperor Doom. He split up the Earth into sections and let certain individuals rule over each domain, with himself as the overarching final boss. We saw slightly different versions of the characters we know and love in this epic alternate reality read. Peter Parker and Mary Jane found themselves in a domain known as the Regency, ruled over by the villain known as Regent. I've been seeing a lot of folks requesting Regent as a Marvel Legends figure over the years, too. That would be nice. In this universe, the Parkers, including Mary Jane and Peter's daughter, Annie Mae Parker, are some of the last remaining superheroes who haven't been snuffed out by Regent and had their powers stolen, as that is his ability. He can siphon off of and use the abilities of other superpowered beings with the help of an armor he wears and a special stasis technology and stasis chambers he uses to house the incapacitated heroes. He employs some villains as his superpowered secret police and allows them to keep their abilities in order to serve at his behest. So we saw this universe's version of Mary Jane Watson in issue number 1 of the 2015 run, but we didn't see her suited up and utilizing a Spinneret moniker until volume 2 in 2017 and issue number 2, while Regent's first appearance was in issue number 1 of the 2015 miniseries. Again, we saw a bunch of characters through this story, some with slightly different looks from their 616 counterparts, so seeing Mary Jane suited up and fighting crime alongside Spider-Man was definitely something fresh and interesting. Hasbro did a pretty good job here in terms of comic book accuracy for Spider-Man and Spinneret, with some new, heavily requested upgrades to the retro-carded superposable Spider-Man released in 2020. Yes, the Buck has been upgraded with pinless tech and toe joints. We'll get to that shortly. Let's mind our manners. Ladies first. Spinneret's look is almost identical to her comic book appearances, as Hasbro did not include the red web pattern that appears on her torso and feet on the palm sides of her gloves, opting for all white there instead. Now, I'm thinking that might have been hard to paint and mass produce and too easy to scrape off or scuff, so I'm okay with it. Plus, in the comic books, it's not even consistent. Sometimes she's illustrated with the pattern on the palm of her hands, and sometimes it shows up as just an all-white glove. She's packed in with all 3 hands that I believe should be the standard set of hands for any spider-themed characters, which includes 2 fists, 2 open hands with the fingers spread, and 2 thwipping hands. She has double peg holes in her back. I'm wondering if the final product will include some sort of flight stand. Good articulation for a female Marvel Legends character here. Good range of motion overall, although not really on par with Spidey, but she is utilizing pinless tech and her overall look and feel is top notch. Brand new mask head sculpt, which I like. It looks good. And she's also packed in with what appears to be a new Mary Jane head sculpt. Here's a look at the 3 Mary Jane head sculpts we've received so far. The Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack version, the additional bonus head sculpt we received with the retro-carded Gwen Stacy figure, and the newest release here on the right, or in the middle. I like the paint job on the unmasked head overall, but her eyes do give off this kind of crazy, possibly homicidal girlfriend vibe. The paint on these head sculpts will probably vary. If you have the luxury of doing so, you might have to search for the best option on the pegs. The newest head fits and works on the previous MJ or Gwen Stacy bodies, and I really like the casual look here. Spider-Man looks great. He has the standard 3 hand sculpts, including the 2 fists, the thwipping hands, and the hands that are open with the fingers spread, which we missed out on with the first retro-carded release. As I mentioned, the 2020 retro-carded figure got some much needed and greatly appreciated upgrades here. Like Spinneret, he too has pinless elbows and knees, and finally, in 2022, a Marvel Legends Spider-Man figure with toe joints. Way to please the fans. I appreciate that Hasbro appreciates us and listens to our complaints and our requests. Looks like the entire lower foot may be a new sculpt. It's been a long time coming. His costume also got a couple of tweaks, a darker blue paint scheme, which matches his comic book look from the series, and a new spider logo on his chest and back, which are also comic accurate. The head sculpt, which I believe is new, looks like a slightly larger version of the Pizza Spidey head sculpt to me, but something about it still seems disproportionate. It looks a little small on certain angles. I feel like it could have been a little bit larger. We didn't get anything new or any upgrades in terms of fixing the gappage between the head and neck on this buck. The same issue can be seen in certain poses when articulating his upper torso. Luckily, we can swap on previous head sculpts for different options in terms of eyes and better proportions. Here's the retro-carded Ben Reilly head sculpt. There's one of the head sculpts from the original 2020 release. The other one doesn't seem to fit on the neck peg. I don't know what's going on there. Spidey is also packed in with an additional unmasked head sculpt, which is simply a better painted version of the previous Peter Parker head sculpt that I believe we received with the Spider-Man and Mary Jane 2-pack several years ago. I believe that was a Toys R Us exclusive. He too, like Mary Jane, has something strange with his eyes though. I don't know what's up. Again, this is a product sample, so I think the head sculpt paint jobs will vary and it will be versions with less crazy eyes, hopefully. What we are in dire need of is a cowl for Spidey, one that can be sculpted for him to hold like the version from the old SDCC Stan Lee / Spider-Man box set. A figure back then that did have toe joints too, if I remember correctly. Terrible sculpt on that figure though. Anyway, there are a lot of options with swapping this head on previous Spider-Man bodies, as well as this head on the retro-carded Peter Parker body. You can also swap other heads onto this body. There's the battle damage head sculpt from the Craven 2-pack. I was looking for that bearded head sculpt that I think came with the Spider-Man, the Cosmic Spider-Man figure, but I couldn't find it. But that's an option too if you have that figure. You can also play with different semi-costume looks for Mary Jane and Peter, utilizing ungloved hand sculpts in conjunction with the maskless head sculpts. So many display options if you've been keeping in tune with the line. So listen, I've spent a lot of time with this set. It is a sensational Spider-Man, offering a must-own as a Marvel Legends collector. I'm putting my seal of approval on it. Certified, it's money. Oftentimes, patience is a virtue with this line, especially with the main characters or the anchor characters, if you will. If you missed out on a 2020 classic retro-carded version and been waiting for another opportunity to own a classic Spider-Man, this is your shot, and a better, higher percentage shot, might I add. Take it. This is the 3-point play of collecting. You get the unmasked, updated casual head sculpts for Peter and Mary Jane, which allows for swapping on previous or new bodies to come. Updated pinless tech for both figures. Double jointed elbows, not only on the male figure, but on the female figure as well. No off-colored pegs, which is more aesthetically pleasing. Allows for cleaner photos, better for ACBA and toy photography. The toe joints for Spidey for 2 additional points of articulation on your new best superposable Spider-Man from Hasbro. Pretty much the only thing that we need now to make the cipher complete is a new Kid Buck from Hasbro. 2 male and female Kid Bucks. That'll give us the opportunity for a Legends Anime Parker. That'll complete the family. The Power Pack, Franklin and Valeria Richards, Dylan Brock, etc., etc. Anyway, big shout out to Dan, Ryan, Dwight, Marvel. Thank you all for the opportunity to unveil this set. It is greatly appreciated. Much love. Thank you to each and every one of you for taking a look at this review. Thanks for hanging out. As always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell down there. And until next time, peace. I'm in the game, I'm grinding. I got to play 24 hours in a day, 7 days out the week. I never sleep. I'm on my grizzly bear, 52 weeks out the year. Yeah.